Just
Listen,
don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I wanted this.
All right, now let's get our focus on this heated conversation between President Donald Trump and President Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, which went viral, I think 4 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. And the reason why I chose this for you is because it was so controversial. For example, when you want to talk about a highly controversial plan, for example, or something that is so controversial, you can use all these great things that you're going to learn out of this. So, sentence by sentence, I'll pause the video. If there's something new, I'll explain. Okay, so let's go.
United States of America and for the good of the world.
Yeah, for the good of the world. When you do something for the good of the world, what does it mean? For the good of the world. When you do something for the good of the world, it means you act in a way that benefits everybody. Everybody loves that. Everybody likes it. Okay? And it makes the world a really good place and a better place. Okay? So that's the meaning of for the good of the world. For example, we do a lot of things for the good of the world. Or I try to teach people who don't speak English because I just want them to be able to communicate. And I do it for the good of the world. It means when everybody is able to learn how to speak English, the world is going to be a better place. Why? Because people know how to communicate. Okay? So this is great, and I want you to make a lot of sentences with for the good of the world. Or for example, doctors do lots of great things for people for the good of the world. Okay? So the next is
The United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world.
oh yeah, when you're aligned with the world, what does it mean when you are aligned with the world? Aligned is ALIGNED. So here, G is silent, okay? So you don't say it, you don't actually pronounce that. When you're aligned with somebody or something, it means you try to be in agreement or you try to be in harmony with somebody or something. For example, when you're talking about a philosophy, or maybe you're talking about a goal, or when you're talking about a point of view, you say that, oh yeah, I'm aligned with that. When you're aligned with that, it means you try to be in agreement, okay? And you try to be in harmony with that. So when you say I'm aligned with the world, it means I got a good relationship with the world. I have no problem with the world or with the rest of the world. So
And I want to get this thing over with. You see that?
yeah, and I want to get this thing over. So when you get something over, it means you try to overcome obstacles. And if there are problems, you try to correct the problems. But how? In a timely and efficient manner, in a very good manner. You try to get things over. Okay? So if there is a problem, if you're talking about something controversial, for example, and you want to say that you want to, just correct all the, problems and rectify all the problems, you can say we need to get things over, or we need to get this thing over. It means that you don't want it to be an obstacle anymore.
You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough.
Yeah, and when you have hatred for somebody, because he says, you see the hatred he's got for Putin. President Zelensky, okay, has got a lot of hatred for Putin, as Trump says, okay? So when you have hatred for somebody, it means you strongly dislike that person or resent somebody. R-E-S-E-N-T. You resent somebody. You hate somebody so much. You dislike him. Why? Usually because or due to negative experiences that you've had with that person, or maybe because of conflicts. You got a lot of conflicts with them and negative, experiences with those people you're talking about. So when he says he's got a lot of hatred for Putin, it means he doesn't like Vladimir Putin, okay? And the rest is great, look.
You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate.
Yeah, which it really makes it really tough for President Trump to make a deal. So what does it mean when you make a deal? When you make a deal, it means you try to come to a mutual agreement, okay? Or you try to bargain with another party. For example, if you hate me, okay, and you want to work with me, but at the same time you hate me, you want to get things over, and you see, oh, I need Yas here right now. I need to be in a good relationship with Yas, okay? And if you're not in a good relationship with me, if you don't have a good relationship with me, if you're not aligned with me, and if you have a lot of hatred for me, it's not possible to make a deal. It means it's not possible to bargain with me or to come to an understanding or to an agreement with me, which is mutual, okay?
For me to make a deal with that kind of hate, he's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either.
And I can say that the other side, what does it mean? The other side means Vladimir Putin. It means, okay, if Zelensky doesn't like or has a lot of hatred for Putin, so Putin is, in the same situation right now. The other side, which means Vladimir Putin, isn't exactly in love with him. It means he doesn't like him either, okay? So he says, isn't exactly in love with him either. So why either? Why not two? Because the sentence is negative here. So when we are talking about something which is negative and your sentence is negative, you need to use either instead of two. For example, I love you too. But if you say, I don't love you, I say, I don't love you either, because the sentence is negative here. Okay, let's go.
So it's not a question of alignment.
So it's not a question of alignment. Alignment is the noun form of the word align.
I'm aligned with the world.
Again, he's repeating the same thing. He says, I'm aligned with the world.
I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe.
I'm aligned with Europe. So it means that I got a good relationship with Europe.
I want to see if we can get this thing done.
I want to see if we can get this thing done. When you get something done, it means you try to get it over. Okay? You try to just get it set. You want to solve all the problems and make peace. So,
you want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen.
yeah, you want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being on this planet.
You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so.
Yeah, but actually you're never going to get a deal that way. If I try to be tough, that's what President Trump is saying. He says, if I try to be tough, okay, you are not going to be able to get a deal that way. So what does it mean when you get a deal? When you get a deal, it means you try to secure an agreement or an arrangement that is kind of favorable or advantageous to you or to, for example, the other people, okay? So you try to get a deal. It means you try to secure an agreement.
That way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I would respond to this. So look.
Yeah, I would respond to this. So when you respond to something, it means you try to react or you try to answer. Let me put it to you that way. You try to answer in response to a particular situation or question or maybe a statement. Yeah, the statement President Trump was making, he was talking about how to get a deal, for example. And now he says that I want to respond to it. It means he wants to answer in response to that particular thing President Donald Trump was talking about. So when you respond to something, it means you answer in response to that particular thing, question, or statement.
For 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, and talk tough about President Vladimir Putin. So when you talk tough about somebody, what does it mean? Because he's saying that President Trump, for the first time in our history, we have a president right now, and he actually talked tough about Vladimir Putin. When you talk tough about somebody, it means you speak so harshly or maybe critically. You try to criticize that person, okay? And when you speak critically about that person, you are talking tough about that person. Or maybe often you do it in a very aggressive way or maybe in a confrontational manner, okay? So,
and then Putin invaded Ukraine.
Yeah, and then Putin invaded Ukraine. So what does it mean when you invade a country? When you invade a country, it means you enter country's territory, military forces, and often you do it with the intention of controlling that country, okay? So when you enter a country, in order to get the control of that country, it means you invade that country.
Destroyed a significant chunk of the country.
Yeah, and he destroyed a significant chunk of. What does it mean, a significant chunk of? It means, actually, he's talking about a large or maybe important part of, something, which is here, we're talking about Ukraine. It means that Volodymyr Putin invaded Ukraine and he took the control of a significant chunk. It means a large part of Ukraine.
The path to peace and the path to prosperity.
Yeah, when you're talking about the path to something, it means you're talking about the way to reach a particular goal or particular destination or a particular outcome. Okay, so the path to do something is the way you do it. Okay, and you try to reach that kind of goal.
Is maybe engaging in diplomacy.
Yeah, maybe it is engaging in diplomacy. Well, what does it mean when something engages in diplomacy? It means, it participates in the art of dealing with people in a sensitive and effective way, but often involving negotiations and discussions to reach an agreement and resolve conflicts.
We tried the pathway of Joe Biden.
Yeah, we tried the pathway of Joe Biden. It's talking about the previous president of the United States, Joe Biden, and he says we tried the pathway of Joe Biden. What does it mean? It means we tried Joe Biden's method of dealing with something, but it didn't work according to them. Okay?
Of Joe Biden, of thumping our chest and pretending.
Yeah, what was the pathway of Joe Biden? It was thumping our chest. So THUMP, thump. So when you thump your chest, it's something like this. Look, you thump your chest, okay? It means you beat your chest, or maybe you strike your chest with the fist, okay? F-I-S-T. And often, you do it as a display of dominance, maybe, or bravado or pride. Okay, so let's go.
That the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing. That's what President Trump is doing. Alrighty, that was really good, guys. I'm not talking about pronunciation right now, but the great words, okay? I want you to use them in your talks. Make sure you write them all down. You try to, and don't forget, Youglish.com is a great asset for you, okay? Get your attention on it, please. You're gonna learn lots of different things from that great website, Youglish.com. It provides you with lots of different examples, so you can actually write all the words there in Youglish.com, and it provides you with millions of different examples for you to learn, okay? Important to understand. If this video does well, we'll draw part 2. Want to sound like a native when talking about the weather? Check out the video on the left. It's got you covered, I guarantee.